But this thing is a touch and go machine. Outstanding for learning how. Outstanding for touch and go practice. I like to get a little more aggressive with mine because it helps you really work the controls well that way. Hit a bump there on the runway, but you can see no bad habits on it. It's just very easy to control. Wow, look at that. I gotta admit, I'm blown away. That is impressive. No flaps, just a 4-channel radio, no expo, no rates. This is like the old school days of just getting a radio and an airplane and hooking it up and no fancy electronics, and you can learn to fly very nicely on this. So, man, I'm impressed. Let me see if I can get you a stall turn with it, hit the rudder. Wow, you can do that too. And there's no stabilization in this plane. But there's just a little bit of negative elevator in those rolls when you're upside down. I like this thing. Very nice. Very smooth landings with it. You can really finagle your elevator with this. Wow, I like it. Heck, I could probably tone down those controls a little bit by going in one more hole on that Z-bend even too. Very cool, very cool. Very nice. I think I'm wearing out my cameraman though. Here, let's see. Hey guys, Rich here. Welcome back to the RCinformer YouTube channel. I got Steve on the camera as usual, and we're out here at the RCinformer field, and I have kind of a cool warm-up video for you guys. I really haven't done a lot of flying here recently, and I need to get myself kind of back into the groove with some trainers, doing touch and goes and some maneuvering just to kind of get my timing back a little bit. And anytime I have to do that, I usually go to something like the FMS Super Easy. As you guys know, I fly that a lot when I want to kind of get back into things. But two planes that I've recently been flying a lot of that are absolutely outstanding, and I've beaten them up, both of them, just a little bit. These are both coming from FMS Models, folks. We've got the 1220 millimeter Ranger and the 1220 millimeter Blue Jay. This one's from FMS. This one's made by FMS, but it's available at FairRC. What's the difference in the two guys? A lot, but not too much either. They're exactly the same molds, and I've been having such a fun time flying both of these things. But the biggest difference is the Blue Jay is designed to be more of an economy plane, and they decided to go ahead and not paint it and only go with stickers to keep the cost down. They also have it available in a ready to fly, which has actually a pretty decent 4-channel radio included with it. And we're going to show you guys a video on the channel, if it's not out already, on fully setting this up, because we built this at the field and just went out and flew it and had a blast with it. So we took it right out here. The only thing you have to add to this thing is 4, I think, AA batteries into the transmitter, and this is an honest to God good ready to fly package. A lot of times these ready to fly packages come with a kind of an iffy radio, not so good or whatever. This one is decent. No dual rates, no expo, nothing. You just get it out of the box. It even comes with a 1300 milliamp 3-cell battery, and that powers the airplane. Again, just add your own batteries and you go. You can add floats to this just like you can with the FMS version. The FMS version is sort of the deluxe model, fully painted. I dinged mine up a little bit because I had a prop kind of dig into it. And both of them will take the floats, but this one can also come, and they may both come with or without the reflex. You guys would have to check that out. Look at the links below, and that will show you. You can go to both websites for FMS and FairRC, and you can see the breakdown of the way they sell this. But this one is the full-on with the reflex included. You add your own radio and receiver, and you go. So you have the added advantage of having the stability or the flight stabilizer system in this to kind of help you fly it. And you can also turn that off. It has the wing leveling mode and all that. So I've been having a blast flying the two of these, and they're just fun for tooling around. They're very aerobatic. They're great for touch and goes. So if you want to get into this thing, if you want to get into RC and with a great training type plane that's not going to break the bank, either one of these will work out well. Of course, you're welcome to put your stabilizer that you buy aftermarket into any one of these. But I've found this Blue Jay unstabilized with the radio that it comes with a really good way to get into RC very inexpensively. the key to learning to fly RC is have a good instructor. That's what's going to get you to where you need to be. It starts with a really good plane, which both of these are. So today we're going to take both of these up. I'm going to kind of warm up, fly them around. We'll talk about them a little bit, and I'll discuss some of the upgrades and some of the changes. I didn't do much to them, but I'll show you some of the tweaks and some of the tuning and some of the setup I did on both of these. So with that, let me throw a battery in both of these. We'll get them out one at a time, and we'll give you guys a demo of both of these things. We're going to start off with the Blue Jay first. It flies on this really nice Fly Sky radio. Again, no dual rate, no expo, nothing. It just has an on switch, and you just have to set up your throws right, which we're going to talk about. So I'm going to put that on. Instead of using the battery that comes with it, which is a 1300 3S, I'm using a 2200 packet here. The other thing you got to be careful of, there's no throttle cut on this thing, okay? So you have to just kind of be careful and know that it's going to be working as it boots up, and there we go. My throttle wasn't all the way down at the low point, so you can tell when the thing is going to come on. So now that we've got it set up, I had already previously calibrated it. Again, no throttle cut on this thing, so you do want to be careful with it as you're operating it. There's my 3-cell 2200 roaring top pack in there. Can you get it on okay, Steve?
Yep.
All right, and that's all the way forward, strapped down. You can go with farther aft CGs, but it seems to work really well all the way up at the front for, you know, for training and general flying purposes. So, because there's no dual rate, because there's no expo, because there's no stabilizer, when I first flew this plane, which you guys can check out in that video that we put out, which is showing you this unboxing at the field and flying it, we had to tone things down a bit. It flew fine out of the box, but it was really it had a lot of control input, and it was great if you love to do super awesome aerobatics. It flew well right out of the box with all the factory settings. But what I did, Steve, you want to zoom on there for everybody? I went 2 holes in on the aileron horn. Can you see that okay?
Yep.
All right. And that gives you about the right amount of control throw. Right here on this one, same thing for the elevator. Went in 2 holes. You got that okay? Is it focusing?
Yep.
All right, and then same thing for your rudder. Let's see what I did there. That servo is actually on the inside, so I'm on the farthest out hole, and that's pretty much all we have. Now, I do have the other airplane, the FMS Ranger, set up the same way, and it seems to work really well there. So let's go ahead and get this up in the air. Let's just fly it around a little bit, have a little fun with it, and see how it is. And also, I just got to warm up. You can see the control throws that are in there, that it just comes, again, there's no dual rate, there's no expo. The only way to change these throws on this with this particular Fly Sky radio in the ready to fly version is to change the hole on the servo horn itself, and you see where we have those set. So we're going to go with this as it is. I've flown with it like this, and it flies well here. So let's get over by Steve. We're going to taxi down the runway a little bit. Steering's a little bit touchy, but this thing gets up in the air very, very fast. Wind is coming from our left. Let's turn that right around. And here we go, taking off. There we go. I don't need to yell it because it's my field, right? All right, there we go. And as you can see, it's very docile. I'm just going to do sort of a half throttle flyby. That's half speed with a tailwind. It's pretty well trimmed. It's very nice, nice and smooth. I'm going to bring it up to full throttle. I'm going to kind of turn it around this way. I'll bring it by really fast, full throttle, get an idea of the speed. So the only way to tone down any pitch sensitiveness that it has is either adjust the throw of your elevator to have more or less travel, or adjust your CG. Shift your battery forward or back, put a heavier battery, lighter battery in it, and that's how you'll adjust all of that. Right now we have a little calm in the wind, so it's doing well. I'm just doing some steep turns out here, just to have a little bit of fun with it. Let me go to inverted with it. We'll turn it in inverted here. Getting a little high with it. I'll bring it down low. It's a little windy, so I don't want to go too crazy with that. Let me bring it down lower. There we go. But it'll do almost anything you really want it to do. Let's do a little bit of landings out front. See if I can get it onto the runway. There we go, nice touchdown. I'm going into the wind here, and I'm going to turn with a tailwind in this direction. So I'm going to have a tailwind landing this way, so I'm going to keep my speed up just a little bit. We only have a 15-foot wide runway here, folks, as you know. There we go. I'm going to turn aggressively, come right back around, and see if we can land it here. This works best when you've got no wind, but we have a little crosswind here, but not bad. There we go. But you can see, as a training plane, it just makes for a beautiful, very easy, very docile trainer, ready to fly. Again, no stabilizer, no dual rate, no expo. We get it inverted here. That was my mess up. Hang on, let me go back and do that again. There we go, let's bring it around. That wasn't really crisp, was it? Neither was that one. That was horrible, Steve. What's up with this? This is why I'm warming up with this airplane. All right, let's bring it around this way. There we go. A little smoother, only a little bit of negative elevator to keep it inverted. It's a little sensitive, but not bad. Let me bring it by, see for sort of a slower, sort of a presentation pass out front. Power's off here. I'm just letting it glide. Adding a little power here. But nice model. Again, they kept the paint off this to keep the cost low. It's only white foam with stickers. All right, let me loop it out front, just get it up and around. There we go, nice. All right, let me try another inverted from this side just so I can try to redeem myself with that. There we go. I just leave the power in and just keep it inverted here. Just bring it around here, right down the runway. Very nice, very nice. We just push it over, do it simple. See if we can make it to a touch and go. We might have a little bit too much speed with this tailwind. But you can see this thing will handle abuse. That nose wheel is springy, so it can take some abuse with it for sure. So here we go. There we go. Really nice. Now, it will handle grass, but here's the thing. The prop strikes the ground a lot. And that's one of the things I wanted to talk about. And I'm glad I wanted to show you that on purpose because I'm going to bring out the other airplane and show you the difference real quick. So I'm going to leave this parked right here, Steve. Just go ahead and stay on that. And I'm going to grab the Ranger here and I'm going to show you the difference real quick. So notice the difference between the two planes. This is just a little mod that I did, not a big deal. But you see the difference in that tail angle? The planes, both of these come from the factory sitting really nose low. The prop is really low to the ground, and when you touch down, you've got a lot of flaring with it, and you've got a lot of space on that nose wheel and a lot of distance between the ground. The problem with it is when you get it on grass, the nose is striking the grass. Take a look at this one. This one, it's lower in the tail, so it's a little more suitable for grass. You're a little less likely to strike, and you actually do have plenty of distance to flare with. So how did I do that? All I did was take the landing gear off and I just bent these up, okay? And I made the stance of the main wheels a little wider. So just as a demo here, I'll put these two together. Not tremendously wider, just a little bit, but you can see the difference in that arc. You see that, Steve? Yep. So if you flatten your main gear a little bit, get that tail lower to the ground, you'll be able to do slightly better grass field landings. You'll keep your prop off the ground, okay? So you just gotta, that's one mod I made. And the way that I did it was you can just grab your hands, you can just bend that up if you want to. But what I did is I pulled this off and I actually grabbed pliers and I bent the joint that's here and I bent this too. Otherwise, if you just bend them out, this wheel's gonna be arc, you know what I mean? It's gonna have a camber on it, I guess. It's gonna be tilted. And you had to bend this angle too. So this one and this one. But anyway, bottom line is get them bent so these are nice and straight. Get that thing down low or a little bit lower, a little wider. You'll have a little wider stance and you'll be able to flare a little better. And you'll be able to touch down, you know, a little bit nicer with this, and you'll keep that nose off the ground for grass. Because you can see what happens. This is like in a wheelbarrow stance, and this should be an excellent grass field airplane. And the only thing that causes a little trouble with it is those landing gear, that thing being so tall. So just bend them, make it flat like that, and you'll have no problem. The other cool thing about both of these planes, again, they're identical airplanes. Two things that are really nice about both of these planes is that it has a little snap-off spinner, which maybe I'll demo for you if I hit the ground with it. But this thing snaps on and off, and it'll actually pop off if you touch the ground with it and stuff. Sometimes I'll put a little foam tack on this a little bit just to sort of tack it up and keep it in place. It'll still pop off, but that's one nice feature, is that thing automatically pops off, which I've done a lot because I've hit the ground with it. The other nice thing is this nose gear. I don't know, Steve, if you can zoom on that. Yep. They're both the same, but it's a little springy device, so you can really plow this into the ground and you know, learn to fly on it without trashing that nose gear. So, but like I said, the thing you need really to learn how to fly, guys, is a good flight instructor. That's the key to it. So let me get the radio for the Ranger. Let's plug that in. Let's go, and I'll show you how the difference in flying this with a stabilizer, with the wheels kind of bent out. And both of these planes can be set up exactly the same way. It's just your preference on which one you want to get from either FairRC or FMS. Both great airplanes. So let me get that radio, Steve. We'll plug that in and we'll go. All right, Steve, I think we're flying the Ranger in just the right time because the wind has picked up. You can see our flag back there flipping around. So that's one of our survey flags for our building. We're getting ready to set up. Steve, pan out there real quick and just show everybody what we got going on. We've got our building kind of staked out and getting ready to go, and that's going to be about the size of it. We're testing out different you know, configurations and stuff, and getting ready to put a nice building there where we can have a nice flight line building and invite all you guys out there to fly. So it's looking pretty good, isn't it, Steve?
Getting there.
Yeah, it's getting there, little by little, little by little. So, all right, guys, we got the Ranger here now, and I'm just checking out my display. It looks good. I'm using essentially the same battery. Good thing is with this, and even with the Blue Jay, you can set it up with a stabilizer of any kind you want. You can get your own reflex. You can put in, you know, any other brand stabilizer you want to put in it. Once again, Steve, I'm going to flash this at everybody. Can you get in on the battery area okay? Yep. Okay. So again, 2200. You can fly with a 1300. You can even go more and fly this all day. This flies for like 10 minutes the way that it is. So, but now we've got some reflex to help us out a little bit. I dinged my nose up a little bit by stacking planes together, and I got a little bit of hanger rash or car rash from all that. So let me see if we've got this set up and kind of ready to go. Why am I not getting a signal on this? Let's see, there we go. Oh, I know what it is. I was so aggressive with that, I didn't give it time to let the stabilizer set up because I don't use a lot of them. So let me plug it in. Calm down, leave it alone. Let the stabilizer set itself up. Ailerons, elevator. It's kind of calibrating or getting the levelness set up or whatever it's doing, but anyway, it should be stabilizing now. So yeah, take your time, don't rush with that. I'm just going to do a quick aileron check, elevator check. Now I've got rates on everything. I got high, low, medium, and aileron. Low, medium, and high elevator and rudder. Now I got some rudder in there, full travel, and I did put a little expo, about 30%. I've got a throttle kill now, which is nice. And again, you could set up the Blue Jay this way too. You can get it, I think, without non-ready to fly, and put a reflex in it if you like that color better and so forth. So setup is the same on this, folks. Right here, you know, I got my horn there, second hole in. You got that all right? Yep. Same thing back here, second hole in. And you can go to a full outer hole on this thing and get real aggressive with the maneuvering and stick a lot of expo in there if you want to. So, but that's it. It's a super nice model. You can also see both of these right here. This is your forward mount, okay, for your floats, because you can set this up as a float plane. Same thing with the Blue Jay. So some of them come with floats, some of them don't. So just check, like I said, the links below when you go to the product pages for the FMS version and the FairRC version. You know, it'll give you the options and the different kinds that you can get. So let me check the stabilizer and see if it's working. It looks like it's off. I have mine on a 3-position switch, so looks like now it's set up for sort of the wind correction mode. And then let me go to the full-on wing leveling mode. As I see the aileron coming up, I know it's in the wing leveling mode. Same thing with the elevator. I'm looking at the elevator, watching it come up, and it's staying displaced. So that's how you know you're in that mode. I'm just going to go to the flight stabilized mode and just mess with it there, which is just wind correction and so forth. So, all right, Steve, you ready? Let me check my, looks like my spinner cap's coming off there a little bit. Let me make sure that's locked in. There we go. All right, looks like we're good to go. Let me do a quick run up. All right, and there we go. I'm gonna start off in mid rates for everything. We got our little wind flag there telling us what's going on. So let me drive it on out. Yeah, see, see how this one turns tighter, Steve? Yep. I added some throw to the nose gear so I can really turn it tighter. You can see how nice it turns. Here we go, taking off. All right, almost flipped it there. The wind got under my wing there. See, and I can tell it's a little more locked in. That stabilizer is keeping my wings level. It doesn't bop, or you can see how it just locks it in a little tighter. So when you got a crosswind like we got, it's good to have this. I might need to balance that prop a little bit. Yeah, that wind is taking me there. Left crosswind, right rudder. Put it down left wheel first. Both of these planes are just outstanding for training. Let me come by quick. I'm gonna go to that low elevator rate for that. That was with a downwind. Yeah, I can tell that stabilizer's working with that wind. Full throttle coming by. So it's a pretty quick plane. Not bad. Great for tooling around with. Let me turn back this way. Yeah, you can see the ailerons ratcheting a bit, you know? You can tell the stabilizer's keeping it wings level and keeping it from displacing with the wind. Very, very nice. Touchdown, high speed. Let me take this into the middle. We'll steep turn it out front. Yeah, you can see the wind jostling it around and you can see the stabilizer correcting. Yeah, you can see it. You see that ratchet, Steve? There you go. But that's good. That means it's doing its job. When it's windy, it's good to have one of these things, that's for sure. So I got a pretty stiff tailwind this way. Let's see what I can do with it here, though. A little bump. There we go. I'm going to let it go onto the grass. And let's do a takeoff from this way. You see how that tail down? See that right there? Tail's a lot lower to the ground. Props off the ground. So if you guys want to get one of these Rangers and you want to fly it off of grass, do that mod. Just adjust your rear gear and you'll be able to do it without any problem. Remember guys, this is a cow pasture. We've done nothing to this grass. This is about as rough as it gets, right, Steve? So yeah, I mean, it's so if it'll handle this, it'll handle about anything. We go down into the notch there. Okay, I'm going to go full aileron because it feels like I'm lacking it a little bit. Let's bring it back in. We'll go zooming by here. Nice and low. Turn it around, power off. Let's bring it back here, see if we get a landing out of it. Yeah, that crosswind's killing us. Touch and go. Let me turn it around and come back the other way. In calmer winds, I love to just practice touch and goes with this thing. It's awesome for that. So like if you're gonna really learn, it's a good learning, good training airplane. Outstanding. I'm almost getting my timing back here. Steve, let me bring it in and land it here. Let me do a grass landing with it right here. Let's see here. There we go. Bring that in. That was with, actually that was my low elevator travel. Bring it right on in. Anyway, you can see how that landing gear change really helps a lot. You can hand launch this as well. Does that real well, nicely. Let me see if I can stall turn it without hitting the trees over there. Very nice, very nice. This is getting to be one of my favorite planes for just doing aerobatics, really low level stuff. Yeah, you see, I can see the wings. That stabilizer is really doing its job. I mean, you can see it just kind of locking them in and ratcheting the control surfaces. Very smooth, very nice. Outstanding airplane. All right, let's see. Power's coming in. Power's off. Very nice. I almost got my timing back. I still feel a little rusty, but it's really helping out a lot. Let me do a 4-point roll. Here, let me go, let me back over this way. Let me come back from the other side. It's a little more into the wind this way. And I'll 4-point roll it. Here we go. There we go. It locks, locks. And that's the stabilizer locking it. Okay, it really, you can see the wings actually come back the other way a little bit, roll back the other direction. But that's what you want. That means the stabilizer's tuned about right. Let's touch and go it a bit here. Right, left crosswind, so right rudder. Touchdown left wheel first. There we go. Come back this way. Now it's a right crosswind, so we're going to use left rudder and right bank. So there we go. Little late touchdown. Remember, 145-foot runway. So it is little. Okay, let's come down onto the grass again. That nose wheel will take a ton of abuse. Let me see right here onto the grass again. Little nose first. We go around, that was horrible. I was touching nose first, so it was porpoising a bit. Let's try and do that a little better. This plane would be nice with flaps, but you really don't need it. There we go, it's a little flatter. But it's amazing how actually tight you can get this plane. It got a little calm here, so I'm trying to do some aggressive takeoffs and landings with it. Shortest space possible without hitting the ground. Yeah, I like to get rough with this plane. Let's see here. That's our runway pushing me up, I think. You do a nice greaser, then it starts bouncing. Let's see. Yeah, that's right, it was the runway. Okay, this is a good crosswind landing day today. Oh, let me go around, that was a horrible approach. But I love this airplane, it's very nice. Very fun to fly. I'm gonna give Steve's gonna fly it next here. All right, straight off the runway, going vertical. Yeah, you can see that wind hitting me from the right. I'm full left rudder, it doesn't even want to come around. Sorry, Steve, let me go down this way. This is just the tooling around airplane. Let's go vertical. There we go, we got light on the plane there. There we go. Yeah, that wind pushed me over there. But beautiful airplane. All right, Steve, anything else I should do with it?
Nope, you launched it.
Beautiful flyer.
Did everything. So.
You want to fly next?
Yep.
Why don't I set you up on it and let's fly it. We'll stick your flight at the end maybe on the B-roll. We can watch Steve do some flying with it at the end here. Let's see. Nice flying model. Again, if you guys decide to do, get that Blue Jay version, I think it comes with a stabilizer. If it doesn't, you can put the reflex in it and turn it into this. Or again, put a Spectrum or whatever you want to put in there. I'm holding a lot of left rudder, right bank to counteract that crosswind right now. Beautiful as a training plane though. You know, I didn't do any flat turns with it. Let me try that real quick. I might run out my battery. That's the dangerous part about this plane, is you end up running your battery really low. I'm doing a horrible job of that. Hang on, Steve. Actually, high wind days are not the best time to do that kind of thing. Yeah, it won't even, I'm full left rudder and it won't even come around, so. All right, let's bring it on in, Steve. Here we go. Let's drop it right on in. Pitch, land main wheels first, use your wind correction. Beautiful. I'll take that. That's a little bit of our bouncy runway doing that. But here, let's bring it all in. What kind of time we got on the timer there, Steve?
13:45.
13:45. You okay keeping it rolling?
Yeah.
All right, let me stop it right there. And let me put the safety on, throttle kill. Let me bring this back over here for everybody to see. I'm gonna put the two of these together. As you guys know, I like doing things real time rather than editing because, well, it's more real when you just do it real and show it. And then when you do the editing, well, I don't have a lot of time for that. so I like to show it in real time rather than going through all that stuff. Couple things too. This is just for notes for you guys if you set this up. Steve, if you can get right in on this.
Yep.
Okay, this comes off like that. It's just plastic. This is structural. There's no spar in this wing. If you notice here on the Ranger, Steve, both of these are the same way. There's two wing pieces,
Yep.
but there's no spar connecting the two. You got to have this on there. So I noticed with, especially with the Ranger, and some of these planes can be a little different, that when you pop this strut in, okay, it locks in. But sometimes they can be a little loose, okay? If they're a little loose like that and they're coming off, you do not want that coming off in flight, okay? And you want to be careful putting them on and off because you don't want to break that plastic piece. And then when you're storing it too, this can break right down here real easy just by torquing this a bit. So when you put this flat, if you store it, take the wings off when you transport. When you put this flat, run some tape, Scotch tape or something around it. Don't let this thing move back and forth, but it'll break. Break real easy right there, and then you got to get another one and all that. But anyway, you see how that snaps in? Here's what I did with the Ranger, just for demo to show you guys what I do to it. I took, Steve, you can get right on there?
Yep.
I put a little screw just ahead of that slider, okay? All I did was drill a little hole and put a self-tapping flathead screw on there, a washer head screw. Now it can't come forward and pop off. These were a little loose. So that's just one thing for security. If you find yours are getting loose or they're wearing out, just stick something in there, a screw of any kind, just to keep that from coming forward. And you can see right here, by looking at this, Steve, if you can zoom in one more time on that,
Yep.
there's a good flat spot to put one. As you pop this out, there's a nice flat area right here that you can put a screw right and just tap one. It's just self-tapping screw into it. So, but that's really it, guys. Both of these planes are outstanding. Once again, both airplanes are identical, come from the same molds. The only difference is the FMS version, fully painted canopies. There's a couple of stickers on it, some of the blue graphics, whereas the Blue Jay is from FairRC only, that's their brand, and it's stickers only. That's why they didn't paint the canopy. You could paint it and make it look a little nicer like that with a little bit of black paint, but they wanted to keep the cost down low, and every step of production that they can remove some things, they can bring the cost down. And I think at the time I'm doing this, this airplane is, I don't know, 160, 170, 180, somewhere in that range, mid-hundreds, let's say, with the radio and the battery, minus, of course, you know, your, which I have rechargeables, 4 AA batteries in there. So great package to learn on. A lot of ready-to-fly combos that come with a radio suck. There's a lot of them out there that have a horrible radio. But if you follow the setup guide that I did here, you're going to have a real nice training plane, really inexpensive, have a radio that you can fly it on and learn on. No stabilizer, again, no X-mode, dual rate, but you don't need any of that stuff. You just need a good instructor, teach you to fly, and you have a ton of fun with this thing. So you can move your horns out, whatever, give it more throw, and then really go nuts with this and advance into aerobatics. The FMS is, again, just the full deluxe version, fully painted, a little more expensive. It's not ridiculous, but you know, you use your own radio. So all of these, again, use your own stabilizer, use your own radio gear, use your own setup, and they're both awesome models. So, Steve, what do you think?
Yeah, it's a sweet flying airplane.
All right, yours are nice. Why don't I set you up with this one? I'll put a battery in, then you go fly it.
Sounds good to me.
Sound good? All right, guys, stay tuned for that. We'll put that B-roll at the end. Let Steve fly. If he wants to fly both, let him fly both. Get a little B-roll here at the end. But anyway, I want to thank everybody for watching. Steve, thanks for filming. Welcome, guys, to the RCinformer field. We're going to have a lot more stuff coming from here in the future. Both these planes are awesome. Check them out. If you guys do use our links down below, click on them and go to the website, purchase one of these. It does support our channel through affiliate sales, so we do appreciate that. As always, guys, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. That'll let you know when we put new videos like this out. So anyway, thanks, guys, for watching. Steve, thanks for filming. As always, folks, we'll see y'all next time. All right, we got Steve all set up. He's just checking out the controls.
Taking off.
There you go. Just get used to it. Get back in the groove. That's what I had to do.
That's hands off right there, so.
Yeah, good. So this is Steve picking up a plane after probably not flying for months. So it's been a while for both of us a little bit. I've been doing some flying with Wesley here and there, but it's been dark weather, dark skies and wind, and we still got a crosswind here, so it's a challenge. So but we got the stabilizer working for us here, so that is good. This 2200 pack will give you easily 7, 10, even up a little higher on the flight time in minutes. So there you go. Oh, there you go, in the grass. Oh yeah, spinner stayed on there. It's a miracle. Usually that just pops off. How is it?
It's fine, no problems.
Okay, all right, here we go. I seriously think the wind had really calmed down when I finished up. You know, it picked up a bit. I think it's calming down now a little bit though. I think you took off with the strength of the wind a little tougher here. A little higher wind speed.
Yeah, she's a good flying airplane.
There you go. Thank. There you go. Nice, nice. It is a windy day. There you go. There you go, little left rudder, little right bank, there you go. Let it main gear first, there you go, there you go. Sweet, hold that stick back when you taxi, yeah, Steve knows what to do. Keep that nose off the ground. Alright, never a dull moment here. Alright, nice job, Steve. You brought it back alive. And alright guys, thanks again for watching RCinformer. Steve, thanks for coming out, helping me film. And as always guys, we'll see y'all next time. Later.
Take care.